Hi, my name is Haley Cart, and I did my presentation on the history of cancer. Cancer is when the body isn't functioning properly and the cells aren't growing and dividing like they should be. It's when the cells that become too old or damaged then don't go through a thing called apoptosis, which is programmed cell death. And when these old and damaged cells don't go through apoptosis, they continue to rapidly divide and grow still. And these cells are cancerous. Cancer is a genetic disease that changes the way cells function and grow and divide. There were many different theories on what cancer was and what caused it. One of the first theories was the humoral theory by Hippocrates. He believed that the body contained 4 humors, or bodily fluids, that had to stay in balance. These fluids were blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile. If these fluids went out of balance, the body would become full of black bile, which was cancer. Another theory was the lymph theory. They believed that cancer was caused by a fluid called lymph, which came from the blood and it ran through the lymphatic system, which meant that there was no answer to completely get rid of cancer, that it was going to still be in your body no matter what, because you have to have blood, and the blood always ran through the lymphatic system. Another theory was the blastema theory by Mueller. He believed that it was cells that caused cancer, not lymphs. But that is all he knew. He didn't know any further in detail what was wrong with the cells or what made the cells cause cancer. Another one is the chronic irritation theory by Virchow. He believed that cancer was spread through an unidentified fluid. Later, it was disproven by Thatcher that he found that cancer was developed through malignant cells, not through an unidentified fluid. There's another theory that is very similar to the chronic irritation theory called the trauma theory. The trauma theory is when theorists believe that cancer was caused by all traumas or injuries that were inflicted upon the body no matter what, and whatever injury was inflicted upon the body, that's where the cancer was developed. Another theory was the parasite theory. They believed that cancer was spread through parasites like any other disease, that cancer was just another disease. It wasn't any different. In the 20th century, scientists and researchers began to realize the true problems in the chemistry and biology that had to do with cancer, so they began to realize more what the truth was behind cancer. They discovered the helical structure and began to learn new ways that genes could be altered and changed. They found that there were multiple things that could change these genes, and these are called carcinogens. And all these changes cause cancer, such as radiation, viruses, chemicals, or they could simply be inherited through your family history. Some of the most common carcinogens that are in our everyday life are things such as tobacco use, UV rays from the sun, and fumes from vehicles. And no matter what we do, we will still face these in our everyday life. Tobacco, though, is the most common carcinogen. It can cause lung cancer, mouth cancer, throat cancer, esophagus cancer, and larynx cancer, along with probably others. But it's sad because it's one of the most preventable diseases if people just would discontinue using tobacco, we could end this so quickly. There are many ways of detecting cancer. And you want to detect these cancers before they get too far in their stages and they can't be stopped. They began using things such as the Pap test or the mammogram. And the mammogram is like an X-ray that's used to detect and treat and cause cancer, because X-rays are radiation, so they can detect, treat, and cause cancer. There are several ways of treating cancer, such as surgery, which is one of the most common ways to treat cancer. It's also paired a lot of times with other types of treatments. Surgeons have also become very advanced. Before they even do surgery, they know exactly what is happening inside of the body, so they do not have to be as invasive. They can make smaller incisions so the body will heal faster. And to know all these things, they use such things as sonographs and tomographs, so they can see the images that are inside of the body. Chemotherapy is another very common way of treating cancer. It's paired with surgery very often. Even though chemotherapy does come along with a lot of side effects such as hair loss, easy bruising and bleeding, nausea, and appetite changes. Scientists are working on different combinations of drugs and dosages to limit these side effects that come along with chemotherapy, so it can be more useful and not as harmful too. Hormone therapy is another way of treating cancer. It's not as common though as surgery or chemotherapy. It was first thought about in 1878 by Thomas Beatson when he removed the ovaries of a rabbit and realized that the rabbit discontinued producing milk. Because of this study, they found that if you inhibited the hormones to certain organs, such as the breast or the testicles, that it would slow or even stop the spread of cancerous cells from those body parts. So they began to inhibit such things as testosterone and estrogen that these body parts produce. Radiation is another very common way of treating cancer. During radiation treatments, they admit dosages of radiation to the targeted area of cancerous cells, such as in the intraoperative radiation therapy, which is used during surgery, where they apply a dose of radiation directly to the side of the tumor bed once it's removed during surgery. This is commonly used to treat breast cancer, though. And that is my whole presentation on the history of cancer. Thank you.